I believe that the fires we're cast upon are the flames we shall become. I believe in a common calling where our temples pray as one. I believe in the word of wonder and a kingdom for the saved.
Larry Pollock here with Luke Carroll and Leo Mayrhofer. We might be joined by IFBB Pro Phil Clayhart in a little while. But anyways, we got some topics to discuss today. One is going to be Nandrolone, which there's a lot of controversy about that lately. And there's some new studies that came out regarding that. So we're going to cover that. Then we're going to talk about the Masters Olympia that just took place recently. It was pretty controversial. And this weekend we have the Atlanta Pro Show, where there's a 212 and classic physique, as well as all the women's categories. So I want to first get into the Nandrolone controversy. Now, over the years, there's been a lot of speculation on, people have talked about Nandrolone only cycles, different ways to take Nandrolone, what Nandrolone does. And recently, people don't like Nandrolone because mainly the erectile dysfunction, part of it that some people experience. And but this is a compound that was one of the original ones produced by Organon back in, I believe, the 60s. So it's one of the most studied drugs out there, and probably one of the safer compounds as far as liver toxicity and stuff like that. Recently, now one thing that is come up lately, people that have been in this for decades, like I have long experienced Nandrolone to be really good on your joints, as far as like not having sore joints, less injuries from tendon strains and ligaments and even muscle tears. But some people have recently claimed that it doesn't really do that. It's just being hydrated, and that simply just drinking a lot of salt water will accomplish the same thing, and that Nandrolone doesn't do that. So I pulled up a study that came out, and I'm going to show this here. And let's see, which one is it? I'll have to scroll down. Here it is. So if you guys can see this.
When's this study from? It says, I can't tell.
It's from Larry I. Lipschultz.
No, I meant what year?
I know. I just saw that one of the guys' his name was Larry.
Larry I. Lipschultz.
Let's see. I believe it's relatively recent, but let me see. Is there a date on this? There should be.
I see a date up here, but I'm not sure if that's the one. It says March.
Very at the very bottom, maybe. But does it matter?
Yeah, just curious if it's newer research or if it's something that's been around for a while.
I think it says March. It says March 2020.
They gave some people on TRT half the amount of Nandrolone, which their TRT was, and they had big improvements on how their joints felt, right?
Yeah. They were able to reduce the intervention of pain relievers.
Yeah, but could they say why that was? Or did they just say, oh, well, Nandrolone then it was nice. But could they say what the nandrolone did?
I think they don't really know the specific of it. They think there might be an anti-inflammatory effect. They might think it might be what Larry said. There might be some hydration effect. They didn't really get into the exact mechanism. They just said, here's what we saw from the
Yeah.
I believe it's that they increase the synovial fluid in the joints.
Well, let's pull this study up and see if they're.
I'm pulling it up. I'm scrolling down.
Just do Control F and put in synovial, and you see if it was mentioned somewhere where it was mentioned. Control F, and then it searches the website for the word you put in.
Oh, it brought up a highlighted part. Okay. This is just the conclusions part that was highlighted in here. Let me go back a little bit. Base report decrease.
I'll check it out again.
It says notably, many patients also reported a decreased reliance on chronic pain medication, which included long-standing narcotic prescriptions from other providers. Reducing narcotic utilization is paramount in today's opioid crisis climate. Further studies are required to characterize ND's effect across a larger study population. And then down to conclusions. For decades, testosterone has been the sole instrument in androgen's arsenal for ongoing treatment of management of male hypogonadism. However, with increased interest in emerging research, there now exists more options than ever to help combat the sequel of the devastating clinical condition. Nandrolone is particularly compelling medication that has significant beneficial effects on joint pain in hypogonadal men, reducing their reliance on chronic pain medication and reducing pain scores in responding men by more than half. So they said more than 50%, and they don't mean more than half the men. They meant over 50% in pain reduction.
Yeah, I wish they would have given the men a test group that got 300 tests, so the same amount of tests on top to compare.
I believe it says it up here.
If that would have done the same thing.
It says results: 48 eligible patients completed initial survey, and 18 men, 37.5 responded to follow-up requests. The median duration of therapy was 62, 48, and looks like 73 days. The median dose of nandrolone was 110, 100 to 150 milligrams. Participants' median age was 46. Standard deviation, 11 years old, with racial makeup consisting of 15 Caucasian, 2 Hispanic, and 1 African American.
Yeah, but they didn't have another group that would took anything else. There was not a like EQ group or an Anavar group or a more testosterone group. It was just TRT or TRT nandrolone. It would have been interesting to compare. Maybe 100 milligram of equipoise would have given the same release. Maybe 100 milligram of Anavar would have given the same release. It's not that I think that it would, but it would be more interesting to compare it. Because if you just compare it to nothing, like who says they shouldn't even have just taken more testosterone in the first place? Would have done the same. So it just
no, they did it with more testosterone, and they did it with testosterone compared to nandrolone.
Oh, so there was a group that took more testosterone?
Yeah, that was part of the test.
So there was a group that took the same amount of testosterone on top?
I believe so. It's in the beginning of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that part. I just saw it in the. I just saw where they said they did. The patients did half the nandrolone of the
Yeah.
TRT dose they had been on.
Yeah, so they took the amount of testosterone and they reduced it by half and added half that in nandrolone.
No, I think they just added on more
the nandrolone.
nandrolone to the testosterone.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying they just added the nandrolone. They didn't take
Yeah.
testosterone out.
Yeah, if they were doing a 200 milligram dose of cypionate after they were doing a 200 milligram dose of cypionate and 100 milligrams of nandrolone decanate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
more does more than nothing, but we don't have much to compare with. More is better. That's the conclusion.
Leo's written books on the effects of peptides. Haven't you? Peptides and steroids, just in general. You have your your PDFs. So
there's a lot of steroids that increase collagen synthesis. Anecdotally, people always way more people would say nandrolone has a better effect than others. That's anecdotally definitely true. If that is more because they also take it for that reason and think that, or if it's really because it does it more, it's hard to say. Because let's say everyone would be told now that Anavar is the best for joint pain, and people would start adding Anavar in. Maybe more people would say, "Oh, Anavar is the best for joint pain," just also because of the placebo. So I don't know, but I would say the tendency is definitely this nandrolone is rather the best for it, and even at a low dose, it helps a lot of people. Saying 50 or 100 a week.
I've heard it be mentioned. I've heard it be mentioned that it has some sort of anti-inflammatory effect as well that other steroids might not have. But I agree with you that Anavar and Primobolan and some of these other ones have collagen synthesis effects.
Okay, I'm going to argue that point. I don't think collagen has anything to do with it because it takes time for your body to build up collagen, and many steroids, including EQ and Anavar, also build collagen. And that would be a thing that you would experience over a long period of time. But the joint pain, reduced inflammation that people experience with nandrolone doesn't take that long. I mean, you literally get it within a couple of weeks. So you're not going to build up that much collagen in 2 weeks to make a difference in that feeling. So I don't think collagen is the answer.
Yeah, it could.
Lots of steroids do that. It would take even GH builds up collagen, but it's over a long period of time. And you can take collagen, but you're not going to feel that in right away.
It could also just be more mineral retention, more water retention, from also a little more estrogen. It could be a lot of things.
No, because you can take Dianabol and then hold a shit ton of water from all the estrogen, but you're not getting the joint relief. It's not the same.
Maybe not, but I bet a lot of people would get joint relief from that too.
Would get joint pain from it?
I'm not saying that. Like I said, I'm not saying that I believe nandrolone not to be the best there. I'm just saying there's so many avenues, and
just playing devil's advocate.
It might be it might really be that nandrolone is the most anti-inflammatory of them all. Definitely.
Yeah, well, here's the argument that I'm going to make about the anti-nandrolone. A lot of people don't like the idea of nandrolone because it can produce erectile dysfunction, which it can. So can EQ, so can all kinds of other steroids. And the reason is because the anabolic ratio in nandrolone to androgen is 10-1 versus testosterone, which is considered 1-1.
I think it's more related to the progesterone.
The problem is you have way too much anabolic and not enough androgens if you don't dose it correctly. So if you dose like nandrolone at 300 milligrams and testosterone at 300 milligrams, you're probably going to have a problem because your anabolic to androgen ratio is way high. But if you dose it the way they did in this study, which is 2-to-1, 2 testosterone to 1 nandrolone, in other words, 200 milligrams testosterone and 100 milligrams of nandrolone, you're not going to have the erectile dysfunction thing going on. I know because I've experimented this on myself lots. The other thing is you don't need a whole lot to get the joint effects. In other words, some people, they take nandrolone, they're taking 500, 600 milligrams a week. And that's great for bodybuilding and for building mass. But just for the joint relieving effects, which is to avoid injury and having sore joints, I'm only taking 90 milligrams a week. And that works with 250 milligrams of testosterone.
So you're saying the reason why you don't have erectile dysfunction on nandrolone is because you take so little?
Because I take not only so little, but my testosterone ratio to nandrolone is 2-to-1.
I don't think that matters, because
there's so
many people that have so many different ratios of stuff, and they have erectile dysfunction or they don't. I think it has so much to do with how you process it that you can't just be like, well, 2-to-1 ratio works for everyone. There might be a ton of people that it's like 2-to-1 ratio.
It could be different on how people process it, but in generally speaking, for most people, if your testosterone is double your anabolic load, you shouldn't have that problem.
You're just saying, okay, the tendency is lower nandrolone, and you don't even need much to get the relief.
Exactly.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And this
because then people will run 2-to-1, and they're like, "Oh, Larry, it didn't work."
Well, okay. And a lot of it is psychological too. People have erectile dysfunction because they just are, have some different things going on.
They could also eat some shit food where they have some plastic in it that's all in their balls. You know how nowadays you have so much shit that plays into it.
I think
Right.
it's
You don't know.
I think it's more related to the prolactin effect, and then if you're taking a low dose, obviously you're not going to have as much prolactin. Of 19 NORs, kind of all increase prolactin.
Yeah, prolactin is
except
killer.
that trenbolone acts completely different, and that produces prolactin also.
Yeah, but if your prolactin is too high, like nothing will.
Yeah, but people take trenbolone and they have the opposite effect.
I'm just saying, but then they might not get the prolactin that far up, because like after you have sex, you excrete prolactin, and that's going to make you not want to have sex. So if you have high prolactin all the time, that's kind of the feeling like, oh, you're already done. So you're like not really in the mood.
Well, I think you got two things confused. You got prolactin and progesterone, which are related, but they're not exactly the same thing.
Progesterone, no, I didn't confuse anything.
Prolactin is what makes your erection go away after you ejaculate.
Exactly, that's true.
And nandrolone does increase prolactin. 19 NORs do increase prolactin.
But it also increases progesterone, which can also cause that problem.
Yeah, well, then you have two issues.
But that's what we're getting at, is it's the downstream hormones from DECA that is the issue. It's not having like a ratio. Say if you did 1,000 tests and 500 DECA, I bet you'd have a problem. But if you did 90 DECA and 1,000 tests, you wouldn't have a problem. It's not necessarily the ratio; it's the total dose of the DECA. Like just 90 milligrams a week is low enough that you probably won't have it. It probably won't have enough downstream prolactin, progestins created that you're not going to have an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, most people, if they're taking 1,000 DECA, they're probably not taking 2,000 tests.
So the ratio kind of gets thrown out the window.
Or if they are, their estrogen's probably through the roof, along with everything else too.
They probably take so many inhibitors on all sides, anyways. They probably eat.
They're stacking Caber and
hopefully not Caber. Caber
Arimidex
is so bad for your heart.
It's hard for your brain too. brain anyway.
Yeah, brain
But I was
affected.
gonna ask you about that, Leo. I know I've heard a lot of podcasts, people talking about the cardio issue with DECA specifically, is why a lot of guys are kind of like pulling away from it now. Do you have any like
Oh, I
research
thought
thoughts on that?
I think the issue why people are not doing this is more the possible effect on cognition.
Oh, so it's like brain
Yeah,
chemistry.
and then obviously putting in DECA for someone who has somewhat of, sensitivity for prolactin and progesterone. Like people are so different. Like some people they can take 500 DECA, they're totally fine. But
I
other
can't take
people
any. Like if I
it's
take
yeah, it's
some,
just
I just yeah.
it's just way harder to manage, and you have to throw on top. You have to have like Premi on hand at least and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like, if you can get it done another way, or just take like Larry, like 100 a week just to be, and if that's too much, that's too much. But 100 a week is like you can drop it right away, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Or use like a
yeah,
phenylpropionate where you can pull it out quickly.
yeah,
That's what I
If you
use.
use a
The
Decanate,
NPP.
you got to ride that ride for 2 weeks.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
use
Like
Decanate, that's
everyone who takes DECA right from the start is like, I don't know, they have some old book they read. Like you gotta only
yeah.
start on
Well, from
MPP
my
and see how I react.
experience and
Yeah,
from what I've heard from other people, more people have more problems with DECA than with NPP, and I
yeah,
think there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, DECA is usually dosed at 300 milligrams per milliliter, so people are probably taking 3 times more of it.
Way higher dose.
And
Yeah.
the other thing is NPP is like in and out pretty quick,
yeah,
whereas the DECA, it's like you said, it's in there for weeks. It takes a long time to get out of your system.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
So the
Yeah,
longer something's lingering around in there, the more chance it's going to convert to, progesterone and other things as well.
Yeah.
every time you take something new that has harsher side effects potentially, if you always want to take a short ester and see how you react.
But I
You
can
don't
tell
want,
you, I've
yeah.
tried using EQ
Mhm.
with a low dose of tests, and that fucked me up.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
because
could,
it
but
displaces
that can
the
also lower your estrogen,
yeah.
and the DECA won't ever lower your estrogen. So you could be like, oh, the EQ, I thought it was good for my joints, but only if it doesn't crash your estrogen at the same time. So if it
Right.
crashes your estrogen, you walk in on zero estrogen. Like zero estrogen, no one can have good joints on zero estrogen.
Well,
Like it's just impossible.
knowing what we do know about Larry, he's a low estrogen converter anyways. So if he's taken like low
Yeah,
test and equipoise, then he's probably going to go to zero and have, like I said, the issues with it. Where
yeah,
if he's going to respond better to something that maybe even aromatizes higher because he has
No,
such low
actually, I
estrogen.
convert high now to estrogen. Quick.
Do you?
well,
I,
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you always converted low. That's why you had issues with DHTs.
Then
No,
you
no,
could
no,
you
no.
could experiment with 100 EQ instead of an aromatase inhibitor.
Mhm.
You could experiment and see what happens.
See if it
Maybe
displaces.
that gets your
Well,
estrogen
no,
just
what
as
I
low
did
as
is I
AI.
tried 1 cc of EQ
Mhm.
with the test, and I started running into problem.
Yeah,
But then I realized my EQ is 300 milligrams. My test was only 250.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I had to lower it. I had to lower the EQ to literally 80 milligrams.
yeah. Maybe that's you can do like a little triple stack, little MPP,
Yeah.
little test, and little EQ, and then you wouldn't need an AI. You know,
And by the
could
way,
work.
that's one of the most productive stacks I've ever used. And a lot of people say the same thing, is those three that combo.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
old school, thing. Like the pros in the off season,
EQ,
700 of everything, kind of like.
EQ, Nandrolone, and test.
Yeah,
Well, maybe that kind of came around because aromatase inhibitors weren't as what they are now back in the maybe 70s, 80s, so that people were using stuff that were just doing it through steroid, and probably they were just doing it through feel because they probably didn't have
yeah.
the levels
I
of
think
blood
it was
work that we have.
experimental.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like 5-6 years ago, you told someone EQ is lowering your estrogen.
They've been like, what?
It felt like no one knew about it. But
Yeah.
some things they turn, like you look back and you're like, wow, that actually made a lot of sense when you know about it, and they didn't even know why they did it. but it made total sense. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say back in the day, I don't think they knew
Hello,
that
sir.
EQ lowered. I don't think they knew that EQ lowered estrogen, right?
Yeah.
It's something that people just started figuring out like 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Probably the last
I
5
think
years.
so. Maybe someone knew, but
Yeah.
they never told.
Yeah, because I found out like 4 or 5 years ago. I was in the middle of a contest prep, and I don't take any aromatase inhibitors. I just don't aromatize. And man, my joints were hurting. Everything was achy. My knees. I couldn't train. I was still like 10 weeks out. I'm like, man, I'm not even that like lean yet. I got my blood work done, and I think my estrogen, Larry, I sent it to you, right? I was like at 9. My estrogen was like at 9 or like 10, something like that. And no Arimidex, no Nolvadex, no Aromacin, nothing like that. If anything, I was taking D-ball because my source things got shifted around. I ended up with the wrong thing, and so I was like, well, this is what I got. I just got to test the EQ D-ball for at least the first 8 weeks of this prep, and even then with the D-ball and I think the test was like at 750, 900, something like that, and 300 EQ, 300 or 400. My estradiol was like 9. It was like low. It was crazy. I actually had to pull it all the way down. I think it's like 150 or 200 to you. It's just what mine.
But you just don't convert to estrogen. That's just you.
No. I think. Oh yeah, I'm also very. I just don't convert. I wasn't like that when I was younger. When I was younger, I had to take like an Arimidex every day.
So as you got leaner, as you got older, it got better. How fat you are depends on how much you're going to aromatize. I would get a lot fatter back in the day. Yeah.
Someone asked, how come the 90s guys didn't even take AI? We did. There was no AIs back
They didn't
then.
exist.
No.
Arimidex came out in 95.
All we had was Novadex. There wasn't anything like that. That's why people took a lot of diuretics back then, because everybody took a shitload of whatever and then held a ton of water right up to the show, and then they take a bunch of diuretics to get the water out.
And the really good bodybuilders probably had genetics like you, Chris.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't even convert. and then they tell everyone what to take, and they all look fluffy.
And then everyone else is
I don't know
bloated.
what's going on. Why are you so fluffy?
Well, that's why with me, like, I have buddies that talk about NPP and DECA. I'm like, no, it doesn't. I used to say this right before I knew that I was different. I'm like, no, I don't get bloated off DECA and D-ball. Like, I'm fine, And meanwhile, these guys are walking around like the Michelin man. They're all cheats. And I'm fine. I'm good. Some vascular on my legs and arms and all that. And then I realized, like, one, my body changed a little bit, and two, genetics, matter a little bit when it comes to this stuff. How heavy you aromatize and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I actually had the opposite. Again, going back to this, when I worked with Andrew Barry, my estrogen was so low. He had me do like, I think 10 milligrams of mint every day, just to keep my estrogen like I think higher in the mid 20s. Yeah, between 22 to 30, something like that.
Yeah. I've done that with. I'm a low estrogen converter as well. If I take like Primo, I love taking Primo and Test, but my estradiol goes so low. So I've been experimenting with taking like a low dose of Dianabol to increase my estradiol.
Yeah.
Joe Palacio said he loves Dianabol because he likes to blow up on it. Water retention.
He likes it. He likes it after the.
I'm talking in the like 10 to 20 milligram range, not in the 60 milligram range.
I love how everyone's watching my podcast.
Yeah,
I saw that one with Joe. It was good.
Podcast. I watched the Menace podcast, and I realized they all watched my podcast with Joe too.
Nice, right on.
Because they're talking about it, but they never mention it. But somehow they know everything that's in front, that he said on the podcast. So I'm like,
that's kind of weak. No shout out. I would have given you a shout out.
Yeah. And then Leo, you
I saw on the Overcome podcast that that Joe takes Dianabol and Test.
And Leo, you dropped it strategically, right? You dropped it the day after Tampa.
Yeah, because I knew he would be good.
Yeah.
I sent the whole Menace podcast. I sent each and every one of them like 3 weeks out. Look out for Joe Palacios. They were all like, yeah. And then Milos was like, yeah, he looks really good. He mentioned him like once a little bit, and then they're like, oh, he came out of nowhere.
No,
you were promoting him before the show, but you know him personally.
Yeah, that's why. But if you look at his profile, you'd be like, this is such dense quality muscle. But I have to cut them some slack because you know how many times people Photoshop and they look so great, and then they go on stage and it's like a mess. So
But it's
He
not
got
only that. The year
he
before,
got
he
I get
second
it.
at Texas, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Second.
Yep.
That's huge. That is to beat Quinton, like someone with that
Mhm.
structure. That is huge.
not
Yeah.
only
But
that, he's only been competing as a pro for like what? This is his second year,
it's his second
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, he turned
and
in
his
23.
first year as a pro, I think he took like last in his first pro
No,
contest.
no,
He took 13th. He took 13th
yeah,
at the Cal.
Almost last.
out of 22 or something.
Yeah.
There's nothing over 16, is there? I think 16 is as high as
No,
it goes.
16.
But he was 13. 13.
Yeah, I
and
think it was
22
13th. I think it was
best.
13th. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looked good, but I think what they did, I think what him and Justin Compton did, I think I heard him talking about it. They wanted to keep him a little fuller because they were worried about his legs coming down because he gets shredded, right? And I think they're refeeding him a little more. And then by the time he hit the stage, he was lean, but he wasn't his trademark conditioning lean, you know? I think if he would have come in shape at that show like he did at this show, he would have made a splash at that one too. I don't know if it would have been as dramatic because he's added size sense, but he's got an impressive physique, man. He just has the wider hips, but man, everything else he's just put together like just impressive. Big dude.
When he won the Cal State in 22, he was a little like he had less size, yes, maybe like 230-ish, but he was really peeled, and we always knew he had a little wider waist from the front. So I always told him, bro, the only way you can do anything is you got to be peeled,
Dense,
you know.
yeah.
And then he realized that too after the Cali pro show, which he was like just 13th or whatever.
Yeah, it was something like that.
And I'm like, bro, my favorite look of yours is still the Cal State. And he's like, yeah, I agree. So then I knew, okay, they're really going for that one again, and they're working on their midsection and everything. And I'm like, this guy is gonna blow him apart because he has nothing's missing. When you look at him, like you see that there's nothing missing. And every other of the competitors before, I was like, he has no back, he has no quads, he has no midsection. The other guy, you know, there's always someone who's missing something, and he's not missing anything.
No.
Now, let me ask you a question, Leo. You know this guy personally. Somebody made a claim, told me recently, that they call him Fat Joe.
Yeah.
In the off season, they said he gets like almost obese, eating pizza and burgers and all this shit.
Pretty big, pretty fat. Like you see the abs a little bit still, but it could have been.
But do you think he's really getting that fat, or he's just holding a bunch of water from the gear?
I think it's both. Yeah, I think it's both. He's getting pretty fat. Not fat, but for a pro nowadays, it's rather fat. Yes.
He gets like old school heavy.
Yeah.
You know, like that old school bodybuilder heavy.
Sean Roden guest posing, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Like, yeah.
Well, like Lee Priest used to go like almost 300 pounds.
But Lee Priest, I think he also did that because he really went off everything. So he was like counter feeding himself to have no catabolic second of the day. So that's kind of, I think, what his mindset was. Okay, I had no more juices, so I'm just like eating all day, so I can't lose anything.
Yeah, he would eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I seen him at 300 pounds.
Yeah,
like 5'4" or something.
Yeah, he's like 5'4".
Lee Priest is like such a, I don't know, an example for the people that say, "Oh, they got these big guts because they eat too much." It's like, dude, look at Lee Priest every offseason, and then he comes down, there's zero gut. Does he have like, okay, he has good genetics, true, but like if that stomach doesn't extend, like I don't know.
The extended stomach has nothing to do with eating. And it has nothing to do with doing squats or deadlifts either. It has everything to do with GH and insulin. Because prior to GH and insulin, we never saw that. And I can tell you back in the 80s, after every workout, we go to the smorgasbord and eat till we were stuffed.
I mean, I think you can extend your waist a bit by loading it a lot. But
yeah, but
the extent of like a GH gut. Like you get
as soon as we go on a diet, that waist would go down. Yeah. So it just didn't. You didn't see that in the 80s. You didn't, and everybody ate everything in sight, trying to gain weight. I remember as a kid, I was drinking like a gallon of milk a day, and every high calorie thing I could get down my throat, and I got up to like 230, 240 pounds. And as soon as I went on a diet, I had a small waist. It wasn't until 20 years later when I got involved with GH and insulin that the waist started getting bigger. And I always did heavy squats and deadlifts, so my waist didn't get bigger either.
Why didn't Milos get a big waist then? Because he was
That's
the
what
biggest.
I always think.
He was the biggest insulin and IHGH guy there was. Why didn't he get a big waist if that's the case? I think
I think
that it's
that he really used all of the insulin that he took. So he didn't. So he adjusted his insulin intake to his diet, and not his diet to his insulin intake. So I think if you take insulin and GH and you eat way too many calories, then you run into the very big issues.
That's what I believe.
I think if you do it on a maintenance level or so, you can get away with it. So that's my theory on
Yeah,
but
I think you're right about probably Milos was checking his blood sugar and just taking the insulin to cover the meals that he was eating and not, using it to pump in an extra 4,000 grams of carbs per day.
No, he took he took the fast acting insulin and he would just take it like around workouts and stuff like that with, like you said, the right amount of carbs. He wasn't like going to the smorgasbord and eating and taking 100 units of Lantus.
I mean, we're in agreement. If you take a bunch of insulin and go eat a bunch of food, you're going to get a huge stomach. I fully believe that. So it does relate to the insulin, but I also think that if you go to the smorgasbord and eat a ton without insulin, I think you're going to get the same effect.
Well, your body excretes some too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just real quick. Somebody asked about turkesterone. If you're Greg Doucette, then maybe turkesterone works, but everybody else it doesn't work.
If you're a fake natty like Greg, then turkesterone's the best.
Yeah, and especially if you're selling it.
He claims that it's the only one that's real, so maybe it works. I don't know because I haven't.
It's been proven that his isn't real though. I think they've tested it.
You think his is also not real?
I think someone tested it and it said it was like 5% turkesterone or something like that. So it was real, but it just was like negligible.
Crazy. It's so stupid. But he makes a shit ton of money with it.
Yeah. I mean, natties want to use it because they want some kind of edge, but they don't want to take the heavy dip.
Most expensive placebo ever.
Anyway, any other drug talk? You want to talk about equipoise and hunger?
I will tell you one thing that Chemex makes this GD8. What is it called? GD8.
Glucose
disposal agent. And I was talking to somebody who actually watches our show, and he was messaging me online that he was using that along with his GH to keep his blood sugar in control instead of insulin.
Yeah.
And I've been carrying that stuff in the gym for years because I like their products, but I never actually tried it. And after he told me that, I actually tried it. And I took it pre-workout. I don't know why I decided to take it pre-workout. But because I take my GH pre-workout, I took that pre-workout, and it actually made me feel a little hypo.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. But
no, I'm just saying it. I actually felt a little like almost hypoglycemic.
I mean, there's berberine in it. I bet berberine acts a little bit like metformin. So that works.
Well, I've been taking berberine twice a day for like a couple of years now.
Well, and their GDA, there's something else in it that might be more powerful.
Yeah, the Gorilla Chemist designed it, and he was always kind of like designing extracts and new things that are, like maybe some extract of berberine or something is what he made.
Yeah, it's something super berberine that's in it. Well, I'll tell you whatever it is.
You can find that in Blackstone Labs Glycolog. Use my code Austin.
Gorilla Chemist also did designed for Blackstone for a while. So, but he's I tend to not pull away from Chemex now because they cut him out. He's not affiliated with Chemex no more. They're still using his logo, but they aren't really paying him.
So, well, I'll just tell you that product works. I mean, I took it this morning even, and I could tell a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely works. And I'm just doing it to try to increase insulin sensitivity and to not take insulin.
Yeah.
Larry, how would you compare that to metformin, though?
I don't like metformin.
I feel like metformin is something of the past. People were taking it as like an insulin, as a alternative to insulin, and I feel like it kind of ran its course and it hasn't stuck around in the industry. I think that some people still try to put it in that are old school, but I think that it's a little bit outdated now. I think people are starting to use the more GLPs and just insulin in general.
I don't like metformin because it messes with your digestion. So that's
your
why
gut microbiome.
Yeah. Doesn't it blunt IGF-1 as well?
It blocks mTOR. So
right.
And berberine doesn't. So
and IGF-1.
IGF-1, yeah.
Nolvadex does too.
Yes.
Probably to do with the estradiol on that one, estrogen on that
Yeah.
What happened with the Olympia? Masters Olympia. Yeah, Masters Olympia. What happened with that?
Let's go into
So
that.
Chris and I actually did the whole recap on the 212. I mean, during the show, we watched the whole thing in the middle of the night,
2 a.m.
So who did you have winning?
The guy who won, what was his name?
Samir Trudy.
I had him winning. He was the clear winner.
Samir?
I believe that was correct. What I disagreed was Hide Yamaguchi, if I'm saying that right. He was dead center the whole time. From the moment they went on stage, they kept him right in the middle. And the guys who were fourth, fifth, and sixth never got to stand next to him.
Yeah.
Only the guy that was third and the guy that won got to stand next to him. And I don't think he deserved second.
I think Douglas Connor should have won, probably. But maybe like all the black guys seem to look more like better. So maybe it was also that the whiter ones were more washed out. Because I felt like this Douglas Connor from Pittsburgh, he looked the best in the 212.
He looked good.
Klahar were the German guy with the Italian name. They also on the pictures look better than Dorian. And I'm a friend of Dorian's, and I'm glad he won for him. But I'm just honest, like they just looked more like they're more shredded, both of them. And Klahar, at least in the upper body, also more balanced. So, and they also like switched the whole prejudging. So in prejudging, the German was second, and Klahar was first, and Dorian was third. And then in the finals, Dorian got first, perfect score first, and the German got third. And no, the German stayed second, and Klahar got third. So at the end of the day, Klahar was second.
Did Klahar fade? Is that what happened, or was it just the judging?
I don't know.
Weird?
The only thing that I would be like, okay, if they would say, we were like, yeah, he was good, but then we were like, we can't let the belly win because Klahar always has an extended belly. If they would be like, the belly is the reason, I'd be like, okay, actually that's a good reason for me because I don't think belly should win. But if you would judge it how it's usually judged, it's like a little extension, they're okay. Then Klahar should have won.
Because he always carries the most muscle. He's massive.
He was like in the back and everything. He was way more dense.
Yeah, he's massive. If he could control that stomach, I think he just has kind of like old man stomach because he's in that older age group.
And it was a big, like a 6-point swing, wasn't it? Wasn't there some controversy with that?
Yeah. Like I said,
like it was like that's what we're talking about, right? Yeah.
14 and 5. That was Dorian. It's like first like prejudging 14, and then judge like finals 5. And Klahar, I think, was 6 and then 14 or something.
It was something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so he was second. And it was kind of like, so one guy improved so much, and the other guy also
deproved,
lost someone.
I don't think that's what happened, but
so I could see like if if everyone sees Klahar second but then they also on third. I mean, yeah, if it's close, if it's really close, it looks a lot on the points, but it's actually not a lot. If everyone's very close to each other, then it could look a lot, but people don't understand that they place them second or third, and not everyone gives them like 15 points and then they take an average. And it's, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't understand that they combine the scores.
Yeah.
And if everyone sees someone second with 5 judges, they have 10 points, and if everyone sees him just first, he has 5 points less.
They don't,
The swing is,
okay.
yeah. It's not like people get points for he gets 2 points for symmetry and 2 points for whatever muscularity and 2 points. If it would add up like that, then it would be weird, but it can happen, I think. I mean, yeah. It's just
yeah. Go ahead, Larry.
In the 212, there was a guy that Chris and I were looking at him. They were even showing him before the show on different things. I think he was like older.
Spanish dude, yeah.
He was just shredded, crazy shredded.
Yeah.
The guy who had 6, right?
Yes, that guy was
right?
Freaking haughty Chupon level condition. That guy was inside out, man.
Yeah,
and he never got to stand next to Hadi Yamaguchi. Hidi. And Hidi he just looked like his body was old and beat up. He had torn muscles, like his biceps looked torn.
His lats were gone.
Yeah, he just did. And I don't know if they Photoshopped the pictures later, but what I saw in the pictures they put out versus the video that we saw live did not look the same.
How did David Henry look?
He never competed.
He was
he should have won. It's weird, huh?
He didn't show up. And he was on the list, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was on the poster too and everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had him winning. I was like, well, if he shows up, I mean, that's it.
Who else was in the open? So it was what was about your the guy? Was it Phil?
Phil Churio got 5th.
Churio? 5th? Okay.
That's 212 though, right?
Yeah, in 212.
Oh, okay.
But he also never got to stand next to Hidi. Yeah. They kept him and the other guys out on the end.
Yeah.
And Hidi got second. Samir got first.
They knew what they were doing.
And that's what I told Larry. I was like, I think going in before the show started, I think Hidi had something to do with promoting the show, and
he was all in Japan.
And I was like,
he's Japanese.
And I was like, they're going to pull something here.
But I'm glad they didn't give him the win. So they were like,
at least
that would have been egregious.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he did a lot for the show and stuff, but you just can't give him first. We can't. Let's give him second. It was
they got him close enough.
Yeah. At least he was in shape, but he was just he looked deflated. Like it's just it's just over. And he used to look amazing. That's the sad thing. I think a lot of people will forget how great he looked.
That was 15 years ago, though, that he looked great. It was
but it's but it's still people nowadays, they look at Hidi Yamagishi, younger guys, maybe 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, they look at Hidi Yamagishi and they're like, what the fuck's what are they talking about with this guy? And he was so good, man. Yeah. He looked amazing. My first magazine said he was on everything, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He got 10th in the Open.
He had the freakiest calves, I remember, back when I was at the Mr. California and stuff, maybe in 2008 when they had it in Culver City.
Oh yeah, he used to show up at all the shows down there in Venice.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was then.
Yeah, that's just how aging works. But Samir, did he look young and fresh?
He looked
pretty.
He wasn't as peeled as that other guy.
Mm-hmm. That's typically his issue is getting he's got a nice structure and a lot of muscle, but he just doesn't super get hard.
But he didn't look old and beat up.
Yeah, I think he's still young. He's in his 40s.
He's
41.
still, he still
Yeah,
had it
so
all
that's
put
not even
together
that-
well. And
It's so weird. It seems like he diets the same all year. He doesn't, because when he's off season, he doesn't get fat. He looks the same. You see him off season, he looks great, and then you see him season, and he's like, you didn't change.
He just changes his compounds.
It's like he just stays on 8% body fat all year. And then it's like, why don't you try to get to 5? I really don't get it, man. It's like, what is wrong? The guy has been a talent for all of his life. Everyone, it's like every time it's like, come on, this time.
Is he still working with Aceto?
No way he's working with anyone. I don't
Yeah,
believe it.
he's just doing solo. He's just running on genetics and vibes.
I don't get it, man.
He's
I
one of those
really don't
guys.
get it. It's every time I hope he comes in, and then he's like off again. And then I see him in the off season training somewhere, and I'm like, you look just as good as on stage. He's always like a little film. I don't get it. Pretty shredded, but always a little film. Whole year.
Let's talk about Atlanta.
all right, let me pull up the
Yeah.
Competitor
let me
list.
pull it up real quick.
We didn't even talk about Jordan Hutchinson winning back to back. Was huge. I mean, he deserved it. He was peeled. Great
I
package.
think Joe
The only
could
thing-
have won the last one actually, but yeah.
The only thing I'm wondering is how's he going to hold that condition for another 2 months, 2.5 months?
I don't
When
think
is
he's gonna hold it. He's
October
probably gonna
13th.
go up like 10 pounds or so and then come down.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much time
seems-
to really do that. I guess there's only 8 weeks. Maybe go off for 2 weeks and then
he
get
can,
back on.
just eat a little bit more, take out the orals and the trend, and then put it back in.
Did you see? Did you guys see Stu? His posts talking about what went wrong with him.
I did
Dude,
see
bro,
that.
Yeah, but even if he came in shredded, I don't know. He has no, like, his back is gone. I don't know what happened there with Stu.
He thinks that he thinks he over diets because he gets ready so fast and he just gets fatigued by the end of the prep, which I'd like to see him just do a
Maybe,
6 or 7 weeker, because I think he said he did 16, and I think he's just
Yeah.
because that was my critique of him last year at the Cal. He looked good coming in, but he just looked fatigued on stage. Like, he just looked tired. His face looked tired. His body looked tired. So I thought he was gonna, show up in the top 5 at this, and then he wasn't. He couldn't even get the first call out. So
I remember when I saw him first, it was, I think, a guest posing at the Emerald Cup or so.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy is so good. Jesus.
Yeah.
He looks,
Yeah.
he posts next to someone else, and I'm like,
Lee
he
Labrada,
looks
Hunter.
way better. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, he looks way better than Hunter. That is crazy. And then I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know.
He's missing like that polish, that pop. Remember that New York Pro, his debut in 2023, I think it was, or that look. If he can replicate that look with like a tiny bit more size, I mean, he's a first call out guy. He's not supposed to be in the bottom of the second call out. Like you said, maybe he just needs a shorter prep. He gets ready fast, and then he just fades. Who knows?
He's only 28 years old, so
He's
he's pretty young. He's got time to put it together. He shouldn't be getting body parts falling apart on him, like his back or whatever. I mean, he does have that kind of issue in his lower back with whatever's going on down there.
Well, he works with Blue Taylor, is his coach, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
He's been with Blue since he turned pro.
Blue tends to push the PEDs pretty hard, along with Atlantis and everything else.
Well, that's probably how Stu got so big. that's the formula.
Well,
Lots
I
of
know he worked with Jeff Christensen, who was a master's. He turned pro as a master's, and he worked with him and also Tommy Travell. He turned pro as a master's as well. And if you remember, these guys, this is about 10 years ago. These guys were going back and forth in the masters as like rivals. And Christensen actually beat Tommy Travell, but then Travell passed him up. But Jeff Christensen got over 300 pounds as a master's working with Blue. And he told me he was taking like 100 units of Lantus a day,
Wow.
along with like a whole lot of GH and
Did
the
his
rest
stomach
of
get
everything.
blown out? Did his stomach get blown out?
I don't remember his stomach getting blown out, but here's what happened. Both him and Tommy Travell, they blew up working with Blue fast. And they won their Masters pro cards. And then within 1 year, they were out of the game. Both had health issues.
Yeah, I mean, you push your body, you're probably getting high blood pressure. Your kidneys are fucking up. Your liver's fucking up. I mean, there's
and then Jeff Christensen made a YouTube channel talking about his health issues, and he became a preacher, like a real preacher, and he was like telling people just don't take steroids, don't take PEDs because it's going to mess you up.
Well, that guy Bum Muscle, he died in prep. He was coached by Blue.
Was he coached by Blue?
I think it was Blue, wasn't it? Or was it Matt? I thought it was Blue. Yeah, he was coached by Blue.
What's his real name, Bum Muscle?
Wait, hold on. Steven something.
Fuck.
I don't know if that was Blue.
Oh, I know who you mean. Oh, the guy from down here, right?
Yeah, he's from
the gym. Yeah. Oh, he was the Blue Taylor? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a couple people told me back then that they went to Blue specifically because their coach, whoever their coach was, wasn't on board with them taking a massive amount of drugs, and Blue was cool with that. So they went with him because they wanted to do it.
Luke, didn't that guy work with Phil Viz?
He did.
For a period of time, right?
That's how I met him.
And then he switched to Blue.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And Phil has shown me the blood works and stuff from when he was with him, and it was all pretty healthy blood work. So he thinks it's something that
well,
did.
Yeah, Phil's on top of it with that kind of stuff. I don't know in person, but from what I've heard, just podcasts and stuff, he seems like if there's anything out of whack, he's like, super able about that.
Well,
I can't judge Blue because I've never seen one of his cycles. So I'm just going off of hearsay and what his
Blue
happened. But
really tight with Boston Lloyd, and this is when Boston was still alive and preaching.
I remember they did those podcasts with Leo Longevity.
Yeah, and Boston was preaching, big dosages and all that. Yeah. And I think Blue was like on board with all that.
Yeah.
I don't know to the extent.
Ironic. That's pretty.
But ironic. I do know. Like if a couple pros told me they're cyclists and they were pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a big peptide guy. He's like a lot of GH, a lot of insulin. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the gear itself, but I've heard 10.
Without seeing a protocol, I can't.
Yeah.
None of us can make a judgment.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Blue once. I was trying to see if I could get coached by him, but and the conversation I had with him, he seemed like he was really big about health and monitoring blood work and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah, he does all that, but just because you're looking at your blood work, and if you're still running 100 units of Lantus and 20 units of GH, and your blood work says whatever it says, and he might be okay with what it says.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's like, that's expected.
Well, you're taking all this drugs. Of course, your liver enzymes are going to be
elevated,
5,000, whatever.
All right, let's take a look at this Atlanta Pro lineup.
So, are you guys able to see that?
Yeah.
So, I know Phil Chiro because he's a friend of mine. He's competing in this.
I don't really follow 212 too much. I follow like the Olympia top guys. But unless you're qualified, I'm not really.
Yeah.
I just know that Marco Ruz is probably winning this because he was just second in Texas, and the guy who won Texas was out of this world, and he was actually pretty close. And then Dwayne Camina looked pretty good. And where was that? Just a show before.
Tampa.
Is that the black dude?
So I guess those guys will be, and unless like the other guys who I don't know. Are really good. I know Nate
Tello.
Yeah.
He's
That's
coached by
Boston, right?
Boston. Yeah, he's coached by
I'm gonna
Boston Mass. What's his name? Jose Raven.
That's
I'm
yeah,
gonna
they're
pull
French.
up.
I know. He
Mhm.
has actually a very, very like balanced physique,
He's
but
got a great physique.
he usually doesn't do that well. But
Yeah.
he has actually a really nice physique. I
Mhm.
think he doesn't have a good back. I think
Yeah.
that's what hurts him.
A
But I'm
little
not sure. Yeah.
undersized too.
Yeah, but I could see him making top 5 or so for sure.
Mhm.
And he does the Masters, so maybe he has a good chance to win that one.
That Dwayne, I forget his last name.
Kamina,
Something with a
yeah,
Q.
Dwayne Kamina.
Is he the guy that's coached by Blue Taylor? Speaking of him, is that King Q or is that someone else?
Yeah, that's him. Is he coached by
That's him.
Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Remember like 4 or 5 years ago, he was a top 212 Olympian, and then he just like walked away from the sport, became like a photographer or something,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
really
yeah.
fat, and now he's just making a comeback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he gets in shape.
Hang on.
I met him the first time, 2019 New York Pro, and he was posing in at Beth's in the locker room.
I don't
How
see
tall is
him.
he?
He's not tall. He's oh my god, 5'3".
5. Oh yeah, jeez.
It's just
He's got a
I
lot of
just
muscle.
guessed, like he's very short.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Did you want to pull something up, Larry, or
Yeah, but I think Phil is trying to get on right now.
we can
And
try to Phil Clayhar?
No, Cheerio. But I think I accidentally.
I don't know. Maybe this guy Andrei Melnikov could be good in the 212. Yeah, it's I don't know these guys. There's probably someone who looks crazy and I don't even know him. Sorry for that. But we can look at Marco Roos. If I'll just share my screen and you can look at him because he's definitely a favorite. If you confirm that, Larry, then you can see it.
Yeah, I think Phil's trying to get in here. Or you're sharing this. Okay.
Can you see it, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was pretty good in Texas.
This is 212?
Yeah.
He looks thick.
Yeah. But the guy in first was just so perfect.
Yeah,
Really
did you guys
tough.
talk about him? That Brazilian dude?
No, not yet. What's his name?
Fuck.
Lucas Garcia.
Yes.
Lucas Garcia. It's so
Dude.
funny. I forgot his name the whole show, and now it just came to my mind.
That dude could be in top 2 or 3 this year at the Olympia.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Clarita with his quads downsized and
I can see him being second.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. He's not beating Keon, but
yeah, he's like Keon is tall next to this guy.
Yeah, look how gnarly the restrictions on his quads.
He's really short. Yeah. But he's very
Phil Churro just joined us.
So
Phil.
He's going to be competing tomorrow in the 212.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, this is kind of the man of the hour. Crazy shit. Look at this. Jesus. Like this is really good, huh?
This is like
reception.
Flawless.
Couldn't have peaked any better.
How tall is he? He looks short.
Yeah. He looks like 5'1".
I can't hear him.
And the back double is the only shot that could be a little.
Can't hear.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy looks awesome, man.
That guy's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If Phil can't hear us, it should be his headphones because
can you bring
we can
up
hear him.
the YouTube for me?
Maybe he has to pull up his voice, his sound. Maybe he has some sound things here.
Yeah, we hear you.
But he doesn't hear us, huh? Damn, 5 people. That's a record, huh?
You want to pull up his Instagram right now?
Yeah. Hero. IFBB Pro Hero, okay. Good thing. Sorry, I didn't follow him. I follow you now. Sometimes it doesn't work if I follow people on the
drive without
computer.
my
I don't
phone.
know why. Sometimes it doesn't work.
You in there?
Okay, so
Yeah, I know,
can
but
you
I
see it,
can't
guys?
hear. I can't hear anything.
We hear you.
You in
Can
there?
you see that, guys?
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah,
I can't
that's
hear. Oh, I can't hear anything.
So this is 2
we hear
days
you.
out.
Okay,
So this is
we're
today.
good. I can hear.
Perfect. This is today, Phil. So this is 2 days out.
Okay, we're good. I can hear. Yeah, that's 2 days out. I just took those today in the morning.
Yeah.
Then take the first right onto Camp Creek Parkway.
But you're 212 there, so you can't fill up, huh? Or can you now? You're weighed in right now. You're probably now filling up, huh?
Phil, can you hear us?
He's listening to the
Phil, can you hear
YouTube
us?
channel.
Yeah, I can hear.
He's got to turn off the YouTube. It's getting feedback.
Yeah, he hears us
He's
like
listening
a
to the
minute delayed,
YouTube
probably.
channel.
Yeah, I can hear.
He's got to turn off the YouTube. It's
Yeah,
getting
but you
feedback.
got your
Oh.
YouTube on, so you're getting feedback.
Okay.
Turn it off.
I can't hear anything when I don't have the YouTube going though.
8 lane to turn into Camp Creek Parkway.
You should be able to hear us without that.
You should take the headphones out. Go throw them away. Just use the phone without the headphones.
Oh.
Yeah, just use the phone. Pull them out. Maybe then it's gonna work.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay,
You hear
we're
us?
good now. I just got to take this damn earphones off, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I did it. So are you carving up now because it was 2 days out and you said the scale said 212?
Yeah, I'm starving.
Oh, so you haven't weighed in?
He
No,
just
I
waited.
just weighed in right now. We're on the
Okay.
way. I'm gonna go probably have like a steak and potatoes or something right now, a big meal.
Yeah, and you go on
And
stage
then-
on Saturday or tomorrow?
So the show's Saturday, so I
Both
got all
shows,
day tomorrow to carve up.
Is the Masters also on Saturday?
Then you
Yeah, Masters is first.
Okay, both on the same day. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's better than peaking twice.
No, he's in Open End Masters, right?
That's
Yeah,
why
I'm
I'm
in
asking.
both.
Yeah. So what do you think? You think you can win the Masters? What's your biggest competition in the Masters?
there's a couple guys in there that look good. But I think I'm gonna win that one.
I hope so.
Yeah, and then in the Open, what's your goal there?
Top 5, hopefully. See.
That's decent. Yeah, you look in shape. Like your obliques were feathered as hell. So let's see if you can bring it tight, and then
Pull up his
pose
Instagram
well.
against those pics that he just took.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Japan show, man. Like, I flew in and so normally you would drink a lot of water on the plane, right? Well, that's what I was told. But I think I had to do opposite because on the way there, I gained like 4 pounds of water. And
You mean
then,
Japan, you mean?
yeah, going to Japan last week. And then on the way back, I reversed it and I tried just sipping water with and still no carbs. I didn't eat no carbs on the plane and just ate chicken. And yeah, I got off the plane, man, back in Cali, dry. So I'm in a lot better shape than I was last week already.
That's good. Here we see you last week. The backdrop was terrible, huh?
Yes.
Such
Yeah.
a shame, man. Such a shame. You were there. That's great because you're also a lighter guy. Do you think the black guys just looked much more defined because of the lighting?
You know,
Because I feel like-
honestly, I think the lighting washes me out because if you go on my page, there's a clip that we posted right when I got off stage. I did a photo shoot for them, and it was like a quick video. Like I hit like a front double, like a side tricep with a leg pop out. And yeah, right there. I mean, I look pretty conditioned right there. You know?
Yeah, I guess all of the wider guys were pretty washed out.
Yeah, I just looked washed out, but the stage lighting didn't give me justice. But you know, but I still should have been a little tighter. You know, I think that flight just kind of got me a little bit, but it's all
Yeah,
right.
it's tough that far, flying that far. When I flew to
Yeah,
Germany, I was like, oh my God, that wasn't
yeah.
fun. You know, and that's even it's maybe this. How long is the flight from here to Japan?
It's
It's
like
not
10 and
that
a half
long,
hours.
right? 10?
10 and a half.
Yeah, it's the same. Germany's also LA to Germany is also 10. That is terrible, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate those flights. Those they just but
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to do it, and you know, I almost did Chicago, the Open in Chicago. Before that, I should have done that.
How did you qualify for the Masters?
So my plan was to do the Toronto, but then because that was the only show that was available to qualify for it.
Hmm.
But then I think that's the reason why they opened up like an application, you know, like what Arnold does. You can do the application if
Hmm.
they accept you. And I submitted an application, and I was one of the ones they picked.
Nice.
So yeah,
Okay. But do you think are they going to do that again because now they have 2 years?
I
Or
think I've been hearing like every 2 years, but I really hope they do it every year.
But I think you qualified already for
ma-
the next.
maybe it's
Yeah.
because they don't have enough shows to qualify that they do it every 2 years.
Oh, that's
So,
probably why. Yeah.
you know, and the organization, everything.
It's
But
right.
then maybe because they do it every 2 years, they won't allow applications anymore. Just when you just that qualified athletes. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of stupid if if half of them qualify and the other half is like invited. See, like why would I do a qualifier? It's kind of I don't know.
Yeah. There was this Atlanta show. It was 35 and over. I was planning on doing that to qualify, but then I messaged them just to make sure, and I'm glad I did. And they said that one don't qualify me for the O because it has to be 40 and over, which that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
But
you do a harder show to qualify, and they were like, nope.
They changed it last time.
I think
Yeah, yeah, interesting.
But there were
can
some
you hear
people I
me?
heard that some people that did
I got bad reception.
actually applied for the Masters and didn't get accepted.
Yeah, I wonder how that went down. Maybe they didn't have enough.
The
There
what?
was there
Maybe
was
their
one of these
resume
old
wasn't good
pros. He
enough.
was on Dave Palumbo's show. He was training for it. He was planning to do it, but somehow he didn't get accepted.
Do you know who that was, Larry?
Oh, I seen that video.
Yeah, I can't think of his
Yeah, they
name
were
at the
talking about
moment.
that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he not have any resume?
No, he
Like
did.
what?
He was. I guess he was good at back when, but it was a long time ago.
Hmm. That's weird.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
told
know.
that there was like a lot of applicants. There was like 150 or 300 applicants.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and only
That's
like
interesting.
15 people got picked.
Maybe it was like people that had to have competed recently.
Probably.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to gamble on like half of the people looking like garbage. So they're like, they look at their last show, and if it was more than 2 years ago, they were like, okay, not taking that one because I mean, it's still the image is that's an Olympia show, and if half
Yeah.
of them look like they shouldn't even be on stage, and they're in an Olympia stage. So I understand that, but Fred Smalls just got 10th. I was a little surprised because he looked so good on his Instagram, but somehow, and he danced a lot. Did you see that? His dancing routine, and people were freaking out.
Yeah.
I think Phil can't hear us again. No.
Is Atlanta a IFBB Open Pro show as well?
No, there's no open pros. It's just
Oh,
classic
it's just 212 and classic.
and
Mhm.
212. I haven't seen any name on classic that I know. And usually I know at least a few names, but I don't think I know any name from the classic guys. So
There's no one big name.
so I'm like, why don't anyone from Texas goes there and get the qualification? These guys just competed. It's just like one, like, I don't get it. Makes no sense to me.
Do you have a list for that show? For the classic guys?
Who
Yeah.
always posts that? Oh, you got one.
I do.
Oh yeah, it's also on the website, I guess, right?
Yeah, maybe there's something we missed.
Can you pull that up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now.
I don't know if I recognize any name. But in classic, there are so many good guys. There's probably a few that look crazy, and you never heard of them.
Oh, there's a bunch of those. Every once in a while, like, every other week you get a new guy that pops up and they all look great.
Can you find it, Larry?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, let's see it.
So we want to go down to the classic.
Yeah, let's see classic. I heard the name Kim Angel. Oh no, I know Camilo Diaz. But Camilo Diaz, I think he was 8th or so in New York at New York Pro that I did. I actually didn't like his physique, personally.
There's a lot of classic. Look how many there are.
I know Derek Dushinsky. He trains at Gold's Gym here. He's always so underrated. Let me pull him up. I don't know why he never places it that well. It's crazy. Because he's actually really good. Like, he doesn't have a weakness, really. I asked to share the screen.
Oh, I got to remove the other thing to share this one.
This is just back shots. You see this?
Yeah.
He's like really good separated muscle. He's also a Masters guy. He could have done well in the Masters Olympia, but he didn't go. I don't know why.
Physique, classic physique guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't post that many pictures. I mean, I want to see some stage shots. Because he's really good. I competed against him a few times, and he always got, like, not that great placings. And I'm like, why the hell? Like, I looked at the comparisons, and I'm like, he should have gotten like 3, 4, 5 placings higher every time. Oh, that's funny. This is Camilo Diaz. And this is Derek. Camilo Diaz has just, it seems like he had some operation here or so. His midsection just looks a little weird. Yeah, here, Derek.
That's him on the left?
Yeah. He looks pretty
That's
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks good. He's like really dry and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then they always give him like 8th or 9th. And then some guy who's like totally off, has some nice structure, gets in like 1st or 2nd, and you're like, this poor guy, man. He's like really shredded, has no real weakness.
Yeah, he has like a nice classic looking physique. Like he's like,
I know. Maybe he's, dude. I swear these guys, they don't realize, but they also judge faces. I swear.
Gotta be
not
pretty.
that he's ugly, but
Gotta be pretty.
He does look like, I don't know. He does look like Chris Bumstead or so,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How tall is he? Is he like on the taller end or shorter?
He's like, I think 5'11".
Okay.
5'10".
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks great.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But the other guys, I don't know. I know Camilo Diaz. He competes a lot. It's kind of weird. Like, he competed at the New York Pro, and then, 3 months later, he's already competing again. Maybe he's at the weight limit, and he's like, whatever. Like, I can't, get better. So as long as I'm in shape.
Yeah.
But
Things that
So-
year round.
Phil said he has bad reception, but he'll be on with us next week when he's home and he's driving
Yeah.
now wherever he's at.
All right. Well,
I
you got
think we
anything else
can't
to cover?
say much on the Atlanta show. I just want to
Yeah.
see big prize money for the women because Linda Murray complained, right? So if the women don't get a freaking ton of money, we can call her out.
Well, it's already the men are already getting paid more than the women in her show.
Oh, Linda. You didn't get any special sponsors in? Man. I don't know
They're
why
already
she
getting
just,
the men are already getting paid more than the women. The 212 men are getting paid more than the women in her show.
and she really can't complain about Arnold. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, she still has to pay where the people want to see to sell tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But she probably thinks that that people want to see women and they're just underpaid. I don't know. I don't know what her reasoning is. Like,
Well, if that's the case, why are she could raise
economy
the
isn't
prize money
fair.
at her show?
yeah, economy isn't fair. Like, if that's her problem, it's like, okay, but we're not a socialist bodybuilding organization. We can
All right.
start the communist bodybuilding organization.
Everyone gets the same, paid the same.
Yeah. There's
See how
no
that
prize
goes.
money. No, actually,
No
if
one.
it's really socialist, there's no prize money. No one gets anything.
Sounds about right. Okay. I don't got nothing else.
All right, let's wrap it up. Everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out Leo's channel at Austrian Powers, and leave questions and comments for next week. We'll be on next week, same time. And
I got Lee Priest this weekend.
Ooh, that's
cool.
gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Get him to talk about. Did you already do the interview?
we already did it.
Oh, I want to hear the story because I don't know the story behind what happened with him getting out of the IFBB. He was like talking shit to the Manions because they were porn producers and he didn't want to deal. I don't know the specifics of the story, but I'm like curious about it.
Yeah, that
Have you-
does another podcast. I don't want to be the guy.
You don't want to be affiliated?
Pulls that out and then be like, yeah, Leo.
You get all the
You look
backlash.
good this weekend, Leo, but you know what? We're not going to place you this time. No.
I just
Someone
want to hear
else
the
can do
story
that
of why Lee left the
Muscle
the
Discord
IFBB
can
or
do
got
that.
kicked out or something.
That guy, he's digging his own grave.
Who is it?
Muscle Discord guy.
He's
I don't know
digging
him.
I mean, he's honest, but he's digging his own grave. He's like,
Yeah.
whoa, bro. Like, yes, you can do that for clicks, but you know the backlash is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people won't come on the show. I think a lot of people won't
Probably
come on
be
the show.
scared about their
Yeah.
placings.
Yeah,
Well-
also probably because they were like, people will like call them out for going on the show. You know, if it's a show that constantly criticizes or shits on, you know,
IFBB.
even if it's justified, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not saying he's right or so, but if then, you know, Keon Pearson goes on his show, then maybe Jim Mannion is like, what the fuck are you doing? You know?
I've heard it
off this
before.
guy's show.
Happened to James Hollingsted.
Oh yeah, see, he went.
Well,
to-
some
oh,
people-
did you hear
about-
about the podcast of Not Hostile?
Did you hear about that?
Yes,
No.
No.
This was 2018. It was right after I turned pro. We competed together at the Tampa Pro, and James looked good. James should have placed higher, but he got third call out. And me and Phil are like talking to him, and he was like, "Man, Robin Chang called me last week and said, just because you're talking about steroids, sticking steroids on the JP app, you're never going to place good in a IFBB show." And
What?
yeah, he said Robin Chang called him. I was
Wow.
like, "Oh," he said he didn't even know how he got his number or anything. He's just like called him up.
But how
And,
cool that they didn't pull through with it.
Yeah, I guess they got over it, but that show he didn't place good. He got third call out.
Wow.
Or no, fourth call out. He got fourth call out because it was like 22 guys. He got like 21st. He got like one place behind last,
Whoa.
and that's James Hollingsted. So Yeah.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Well,
But the good
Phil
good,
Claymore
the good,
was
the good thing about it, it's not over. So they forgive you seemingly. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, apparently.
Phil Claymore was pretty outspoken on Muscle Discord about things in the IFBB, and now Muscle Discord is claiming that he got robbed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they put that on their channel, robbery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't see the call outs.
We don't have the alternate universe where Phil Claymore said nothing and he had different placings, so we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, but I at least agree that it was kind of weird. But we also agreed that the lighting was pretty bad for the white guys, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, wrap it.
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Okay,
right.
I unwrapped
later,
it. I'm
guys.
sorry. So bye-bye.
See ya.
I believe that the fires were cast upon